then a DQ blizzard, the Jewish wizard. Write my rhymes right to left, invented interest rates, the ultimate theft. Look how he brew up, a hot one. Hebrew the chosen people, you're not one. You're getting jealous, man, but it was all kosher. Your bitch just asking me to sign her fucking poster like a bunt. I had to hit it and had to run. Scored from third base, you know we had some fun like a dung beetle. I'm on top of shit, but like a drug needle. I'll get you fucking lit, no pillow talk, cause that shit could cost you hours. So groovy, baby, call me Austin fucking Powers. Super freak, you call me Rick James. Your bitch won't stop calling cause I got so much dick.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Chuck Taylor, with the Bag Brigade, doing another recap. I hope y'all really liked the stage event last night. I know not that many people participated, blah, 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 yada, 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 bada, 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 bang. But I thought it was a good first one that we ever tried. Thanks to Mind Gamer and Spicy Nature and Whoop for showing up for a little bit. We had El Presidente, Tuwo, Gammanomics. Who else was in there? I think Picky came in for a bit. Mind Gamer, I think I probably already said that. It was a decent turnout. We got to get our shit together though. Yeah, like that. Yeah, like that beat at the beginning. I made that beat like couple days ago, and then I threw an old verse of mine on top of it, just for fun, just for fun. But we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a big week coming up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So let's see. Right now, as you can see, we got the SPX daily on our screen. I want to show you something. So these are all the moving averages, at least the ones that I pay attention to, and then you have your Fibonacci retracements. Excuse me. Um, Obviously, whoa, something just happened. My Bluetooth went out. Anyways, no, it's back. Okay. This is the 20-day moving average, the green line. Then you got your 50, your 100, and your 20. When was the last time we were above all of them? August. Time before that, well, maybe a quick February 2023, but I'm not going to really count that. Other than that, the time that we were above every single important daily moving average on a daily time frame was at the peak right here at 4808 on SPX. Let's look at a weekly. Now, as you can see, and we talked about this last night as well, it's very rare to see the S&P 500 break below its 200-day moving average. 200-week moving average. I'm sorry, 200-week moving average. And I can show you through history. The only times it's ever done it, I mean, there's been multiple times, but I don't want to go back all the way. Let's just start here, like in the 90s, right? I mean, we were above basically every moving average. 98 when we started bombing, I think Belgrade and all that. Um, we dipped below and bounced off the 100 week. But other than that, we have stayed relatively above it until the dot-com bubble. Then we broke below all of them. And we didn't regain above all of them until about, let's call it right here, about November of 2004, just to come all the way back up, and then in 07, and then break below all of them again during the Great Financial Crisis. And it took another, yep, right, count right here. Basically 2012 to get above all weekly moving averages. Now, this was 2015 when OPEC was messing with us. And look, as you can see, and people were scared. They thought this is where the market was going to roll over again. But of course, it bounced right off the 200 week. This is 2018. This is when the tariffs, Trump with the China tariffs. Now that wasn't that aggressive, but then when they did the Fed did the taper tantrum when they started doing QT again, well, we went all the way down to that 200 week moving average, and we actually bounced right off of it just to rally, and then COVID. Now we did go below it, but it was very brief, and it doesn't like to go below it. And also, they injected a lot of money in the economy. And then we went on a great bull run until January 4th of 2022. And that's where I drew these fib lines, because that was the next time we started breaking below all of the dailies, right? The dailies right here. It's important to know this stuff, okay? That's why I show it to you. But what I want to talk about real quick, and I hope everybody's had a great 3-day holiday weekend. I'm cracking a beer. I'm enjoying myself. But let's just go over last week, because it was a roller coaster ride in the markets. It's marking the second down week for the year, giving us plenty to think about. But now, as we enter a new week, we've got some fresh data and the final earnings report with the God stock equity underlying of them all, the grandfather, NVDA, is on the horizon. They report after hours on the 21st. So let's dive in and discuss what we got in store for us. First of all, let's keep it simple. We'll talk about momentum, where we stand in terms of seasonality, and of course earnings plays. But before we get started, give me a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're not aware, I'm trying to be live, more frequently through the week. We're going to be doing these stage events. And maybe I'll start, just having a live stream going throughout the entire market, while it's open, just to have it on YouTube. I don't know. These are just thoughts of mine. But yeah, it's youtube.com/@thebagbrigade. So be sure to join us tomorrow. I think I probably will go live. Oh, don't forget. Do not forget. We are going to be starting the small account challenge. I want to say this week. It just depends on how busy I get, because I got a lot of meetings and with investors and all sorts of stuff. Now, let's break it down. Now, here are a couple key points to keep an eye on this week. Let's talk about number one. And let me pull some up. So the market dynamics, and I mentioned this to several people, especially Mind Gamer. He was like, "Why are you buying it?" Because I tagged just the success on. I tailed him on the 487s buy puts that expire on the 23rd, which is Friday, and he didn't understand why. But last week's volatility got people talking, but this week we're not expecting as much data to drive the reactions. With only a few trading days and minimal data releases, we need to be mindful of how the market reacts to any news that comes our way. Now but when I say I wasn't feeling comfortable about the market, it's because the breadth. It's the worst breadth in the market, like market internals, since 2009. And I was trying to explain that. I just don't like it. There's no catalyst to bring us up anymore right now. I mean, unless NVIDIA blows it out of the water on their earnings report, it's the only way they will continue higher. I will live and die by that statement. Even if they come in line, I still think they're going to sell off. They got to blow it out. If they come below, oh boy, you better be loading up on puts because it is put season in my opinion. But we'll see, we'll see. Um, but we just need to be careful with that. So obviously, we're going to talk about NVIDIA's earnings for a second. You know, earning focus on NVIDIA. NVIDIA's report is significant. You know, marking the end of this earnings season, and it's been a wild one. Logo knows that. I'm sure all y'all bag brigaders out there know that. Now, while we still have a few more companies reporting like Home Depot and Walmart tomorrow, NVIDIA's report could set the tone for the market going forward. And I've been saying that. And I'm leaning way more bearish than I'm not a perma bear, I promise, but when you're at all time highs, levels we've never seen, being driven by a handful of stocks, especially NVIDIA. I mean, look what happened at their last earnings. You know, they moved 1%, I think, by like from when they reported and after hours, and they opened up 1%, I think higher or lower. I don't know. It wasn't like their previous ones. So you got to keep an eye on that. It's gonna make or break it. That's why this is called make it or break it. Um, I mean, but we also have other earnings like Square or whatever or NU as well. Excuse me. This is a long weekend. Also, we got Federal Reserve and overseas events that we need to pay attention to. So pay attention to any comments from Fed speakers and developments from overseas, particularly in China and the European Union. These factors could influence the market sentiment, especially given the current global economic landscape. Let me scroll down here. Here's what we're looking at for the week. So Japan balance trade tomorrow. We got Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. The Fed FOMC minutes from their last meeting. I just be wary that could move the market. I don't know. It typically does, but sometimes it doesn't. Thursday seems to be kind of a dud, and Friday seems to be kind of a dud. Now that is on like a 3-star. Well, here, let me help you out. We'll look at the calendar ourselves. Let's go to a 2-star. This will give us a little bit more granular. So we have, so tomorrow really nothing really for the United States. We got some Japan stuff, we got Canada, and we got Great Britain. The Bank of England Governor Bailey speech. I mean, I don't know, but Wednesday, let's see, we got Fed Bostic speech, Fed Bowman speech, the FOMC minutes, the API crude oil stock change, and Thursday, lots of European stuff. And then we come to our initial jobs claims, the S&P Global Composite PMI flash, S&P Global Manufacturing PMI flash, S&P Global PMI flash. Can you say that with me? PMI flash, PMI flash, PMI flash. Existing home sales month over month. Fed Jefferson speech. EIA crude oil stocks, EIA gasoline stock change. Fed Harker speech, Fed Cook speech, Fed Kashkari speech, and Fed Waller speech. Thursday's full of literally Fed speakers, and we don't really have anything on Friday. Just wanted to go over that with you. Let's switch it back to here, and we're gonna look at NVIDIA too, and we're gonna look at SMCI. We're gonna look at all that stuff. But to just kind of top this off, you know, last week's volatility highlighted the importance of staying nimble in the market. Keep an eye on momentum and the shifts. and how how it impacts like investor sentiment, especially in relation to inflation concerns. I've I'll say this now, and I said it before, and I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I think people are absolutely crazy to think that we're actually going to get rate cuts this year. We may get one at the very end of the year, maybe. But honestly, that's only going to happen if something breaks within our economy. And that tends to make the market greater, by the way. Think about that. I don't know why people are getting so yippity-yah-doo. I mean, look, from 1950 to like the year 2000, we were hovering at like a 7% interest rate. And then people just have a hissy fit when we go up to 5 something. I mean, even 3. It's crazy. I actually think it's good for the economy because we need to keep it this way, because what's going to end up happening is it's going to be a never-ending vicious cycle and it's going to affect our future generations if we just keep quantitative easing every time something bad happens, printing more money, making our dollar less valuable for what we spend it on. I hope that makes sense. But as we move through the week, remember to stay informed, stay adaptable, and keep your eye on the bigger picture. And don't forget, I'm trying to go live this like a lot of this week, like during the market, if I can. Now that being said, let's move on over here. Okay. Go down here. Is it not on here? Oh, do I gotta pull the thumbnail up? Yeah. So here's our earnings this week. I posted it in the server. So we got Walmart early in the morning with Home Depot, Medtronics. You got Floor, and then you got Palo Alto after the hours tomorrow, Solar Edge, Teladoc, Caesars, Diamondback Energy, ticker FANG, FANG, and their subsidiary company VNOM. They've been on an absolute tear. I don't know what to expect. I'm probably not going to play them. Then we got Wednesday, before hours, Wingstop, Vertiv. I mean, these are some Wix, Exelon, HSBC, and then of course the godfather of them all. And then you got Rivian, Etsy, Lucid. Now you got to realize the only thing out of all of these that you're seeing here that's going to actually move the S&P and the NASDAQ and all that, it's going to be NVDA. Rivian ain't going to move the fucking, excuse my language, the S&P or the NASDAQ. Lucid's not going to do it. You got Marathon Oil and Suncor also. Then Thursday, we got Moderna, Newmont, Nikola. I'm shocked that this company, Nikola, is still listed on the market. It blows my mind. It is such a scam company. It was a scam from the start. I don't know how they're so run. You got Fiverr, you got Cheniere Energy, Wayfair. I mean, look, there's still some earnings, like Builders First Source. I mean, it's just the big boys have already reported except for NVIDIA. Block, Carvana, New, Vale Mining, and Live Nation. And then you got Warner Brothers, and yeah, who cares about all that, right? So, that being said, let's go back to the charts real quick. I want to show you something real quick. Am I missing anything? Well, here's the server, guys. And look at like Gammonomics be posting some stuff in here. What's he got? Sympathy play. Okay, yeah, we talked about this last night in the stage event. Like, if you don't want to play the expensive premiums on NVIDIA, a good sympathy play would be AMD, because it will follow whatever direction NVIDIA goes. It's just not going to be nearly. 1 second, buddy. 1 second. I can't. I'm not gonna. No. Hold on. And then you got Mopes, or sorry, Gamma talking about Bitcoin. So these are all just things to watch. But let's get out of the server. Okay, now look, I want to show you guys something with this. And then I'm going to talk about the plays I'm in, and we will call it a night. Bitcoin is currently at 51.6. Ethereum is almost at 3,000, and Doge is at almost 9 cents. I get it. I understand that you want me. That you. What do you want? I can't. Wait. Wait. What is this? I don't know. I can't deal with you right now, man. I will be there shortly. Let's go ahead and look at our big boy NVIDIA. Okay, remember this is a daily. I mean, that's just so parabolic. I mean, look at it on a weekly. This is what you call excuse my language, fucking sustainable. And what does it remind you of? Oh, no. We got to go back to a weekly. Or let's look at a daily. So, parabolic move. Why is it bringing me down there? That's some bullshit, man. Seriously. Okay, SMCI. Okay. And then look pretty damn similar, right? Well, what happened to SMCI if we look at a daily? It started coming down a lot. And it looks like NVIDIA is starting to roll over. Now, here's the issue. NVIDIA. Earnings. Since everybody's focused on it. And we can even look at AMD. Because honestly, that'd be a great play. As a sympathy. To not have to get wiped. Because, see, they've been running up. Yeah, I get it. I mean, this is... they're like at all-time highs. But nothing comparatively. So... they're cheaper. Their option chain's cheaper. There's not going to be as much applied volatility. You dig. You know what I'm saying? So, look, here's, let's see, an at-the-money call is going to cost you about almost $500 for the 170 strike on AMD, but an at-the-money call on a weekly, by the way, an at-the-money call on NVIDIA is going to cost you about $4,000. So, it might be a good sympathy play. But I'm just saying, you see SMCI, you see NVIDIA, there's a huge gap to fill. This is so, look at the RSI. It is on a daily. Look at it on a weekly. Now, look, when I did this parabolic run and consolidated, I get it, but so I'm not saying it's going to come down and flush all the way down here, but I mean, it could easily, if their earnings just come in line. Oh my God, it's doing it again. Right there. Okay. And if it breaks that, I'd say probably right here. And then we're going for the gap fill. Now that's far-fetched. I get it. But let's look at SNCI and see what that, this is very hard to chart. I'm not gonna lie, because literally I think these would be your next support levels. Obviously that's gonna be the top. So I'm just saying this is a perfect example of what could potentially happen with NVIDIA. And SMCI reported good earnings. That's why they parabolically ran. But NVIDIA's already done it multiple times. Excuse me, I'm just taking a nice lovely sip of my beer. So keep all that in mind. Now, I'll go over questions and all this stuff later. Give me a moment. I want to answer him real quick because I don't want him bugging me while I'm in the show. Yo, doing a recording. All right. See, I help out my peoples. All right. So, anyways, let's go over some of the plays that I am in. So I took the SPY 487 put that expires on the 23rd, which is Friday. I got them at 36 cents, but really 36 whatever dollars a piece. I got 10 of those. And the reason I bought them before the market closed on Friday was because I just didn't like the way the breadth of the market, like the market internals. I just didn't like what I was seeing. Now we crushed it. Whoever followed me, we crushed it like a good, nice 300% gain on Tesla calls, the 200 calls on weeklies last week. I had 20 contracts. I scaled out. I think I bought them for 72 cents on average, or $72 average, and I scaled out. But I think my average like profit was about 300%, maybe 250. But the last couple contracts that I sold were about $350, and my average was $75 a contract. So just think about that. Then I rolled over into Tesla 170 puts. So let's see what happens. I'm also holding a significant amount of Apple 190 calls that expire on Friday. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Apple. We'll see. But those are my current plays right now. I know a lot of people are. I got hit on Roku plays last week too, and all that. But like, here's what you always want to be checking, right? This is what I check at least. Yeah, like, so I'm always checking the SPX, right? Because that's the S&P 500 on. There's the NDX. That's the Nasdaq. Okay, Dow Jones, right? Then you got SPY, which is the cash ETF. And go to a 1 hour. Turn the moving averages off though. Put the volume profile on, and I will go ahead and throw the pivots on, and the super trend. Those are your kind of points of levels of resistance, and this is just where all the volume is taking place. Now, comparatively, from backing out, RSP is the equal weighted, and it's catching up. But at one point, the SPY was just running, and the RSP, which is the equal weighted S&P 500, was not doing so hot. But look at IWM. Look at this, down, and it's straight back up. Yeah, that's crazy. That's small caps. If you don't know, now here's what I look at though on a daily basis. First, I want to see what the bonds are doing. So I'm going to look at TLT, which is the 20-year plus Treasury bond ETF. It is basically the inverse of the TNX, and the TNX is the 10-year yield rates. Now, I don't know why it does this sometimes. You just need to move this decimal point. So right now it's at 4.295. It's basically 4.3%, the 10-year yield. It peaked at 5%. Let me turn these pivots off back here in October, just about. And so when this falls, when the yields fall, you can tell, well, at that same time period, was that October? No. Yeah. So that's where it peaked, TNX. And that's where TLT bottomed. And TLT went on a run after that. And TNX has gone down but back up. Okay, I watch that. I watch these are other bond details. I mean, I don't really look at the VIX anymore because I feel like it's broken, but you do see this spike here. I mean, look, here's what I say. When VIX gets above 20, that's when you might want to, because this is showing signs of volatility and the breadth of the market. I mean, when you see these spikes, right? I mean, this was COVID. And you want to see what 2008 looked like. My God. I mean, what was this? That was 2018, right? Like, let's look at a weekly. That was 08. That was when the flash crash happened in 2010. This was the debt ceiling crisis. This is in 2011. This was the oil OPEC thing in 2015. This is the taper tantrum in 2018, COVID. And we've just been sitting at these lows. And you notice that when you sit at these lows on the VIX, you'll see these pops, but, you know, something may be brewing, man. I don't know. But also, again, you want to pay attention to more than just that. What's gold doing? Sitting at all time highs. What's the dollar doing? Okay, this was back in October of 2022 when the markets hit lows. S&P 500 hit like, or SPY hit like 340 something, right around this area. So you got to watch out for that. I like to look at the United States dollar versus the Japanese yen because at the same time, it represents what the dollar's doing. Watch crypto. What's UNG doing? Oh my God, I don't even want to know. They've been getting so mollywopped. Um, okay, so Tesla. Tesla. I liked Tesla's setup for the bull side because it did like uh, before, even after their earnings. I mean, before their earnings, I liked the setup, but it broke down. But look, it caught itself on the 23.6 fib level, about 175. And I'll turn the moving averages back on. So right now, Tesla's fighting really basically again. It's just crossing over its 20-day moving average. It's got the gap to fill right here. Your next point of resistance is going to be basically I don't know, 207 ish. If I can break that, then you got to deal with this about 221 or 222, which happens to be the 50-day moving average as well. And then you got a lot of resistance above. Now I'm in the 170 but it's kind of far fetched, but it can happen. The last time we saw Tesla at 170 was basically about May or so or June of last summer. So yeah, I don't know, but let's take a look at Apple as I'm in Apple as well. Apple calls the 190s on the daily. So Apple is having a weird moment right now. This is their earnings thing. They shot down in pre-market and then they ran up. Literally like at open the next morning. So 173 is a very crucial level for Apple. Not only that, it's the daily candle it did close below the 200-day moving average, but we need to see what happens. And that also happens to coincide with the 78.6 fib level. Okay? So if y'all don't understand what a lot of this means, that is what we're going to be teaching you with the Bag Brigade. So those are my plays. Oh, and SPY 487 puts. And right now, SPY closed the other day at 498.35. You can already start to see the kind of shift, the rotation. I mean, let's get a little granular. I mean, it really needs to hold. Look, here's what I think. I'll give you a better opinion. Okay, where are my fibs at? I thought I had my fibs on. Fuck. Oh no, that was on. I'm sorry, that was on. Well, then we'll just look at SPX. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Here's what I think. I think we come back down and test the previous all-time high, which happens to be the 50-day moving average. We do got to get below the 20-day. About 48.08, 48.18, something like that. We may test that and bounce, or we may flush right through it. I don't know. But according to SPY, that would be yeah. So hold on. So I need to turn this on an actual just to give you guys a better idea real quick because it's adjusted. the previous all-time high on SPY, January 4th, 2022. It's about 408. I mean, sorry. Was it 408? No, it was 480. Sorry. I think we might do the dance and come down and test this, which happens again to be 20-day moving average or 50-day moving average. We could bounce. I don't know. We could flush. It all depends. But at that point, my puts are in the money because I'm right here. I needed to be right here. I'll put a nice little green line right there and I'll make it big. So that's what I need to happen for that play. Other than that, I don't want to talk your heads off. Do me a favor, please. I'm begging you. This helps with the YouTube algorithm. You want to see this bag brigade grow? You want to be a part of something, from the ground floor up? Because I'm not stopping people. I ain't stopping. I love you guys. I don't know what I would do without you. Shout out Logo. Shout out Justice Says. Shout out Mex Rick. Shout out Whoop. Shout out Josh. Shout out to let's see, who am I missing? Shane. Shout out Striker. Shout out Robert. Shout out to my boy. Well, hold on, hang on. Oh my god. Picky Six. Shout out to RXNN. Shout out Black Diamond. Shout out to my boy Prophet. Shout out to mine. Sorry, I already said your name. Shout out OG Sip. Shout out DJ Bone. Shout out Gammanomics. Shout out Blues A. Some of the original OGs from the Bag Boys, but that's what this used to be called, the server. And shout out to Fire Cycle and all the people that I've known over the years doing this, and especially the new crew. I mean, I love the action. I mean, I can smell you now. I know. I mean, we got a good crew, man, and Mind Gamer, you've been awesome. Logo been straight killing it. Too woke to go broke. Can't forget about you, brother. My brother from another mother. Too legit to quit. Yeah, it's enough with the shout outs. So, with that being said, drop your thumbs up on the video, subscribe, and I will be ready to see you guys, I think, in the morning. Maybe I'll go live. I don't know. I really don't. But that's all I got. Hopefully that helped. If you have questions, let me know. And yeah, let's have a good trading week.